Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Ashley Rose, and today we are going to be talking about the full moon in Gemini that happens December 18th, 2021. A full moon is the halfway point of the lunar cycle. It is a period of heightened time of our emotions, of our senses, our intuition, and it really puts a spotlight on what has and what hasn't been working. So we start asking ourselves the question of what are we ready to release? Our moon rules our emotions, and it also impacts our fertility and our relationships. The moon has to do with our inner world, while the sun focuses on our outer world. So as they're in opposition of each other, we have this time where major truths can be revealed. And I was been speaking about this in the last couple weeks, days, and even in my little end of the week reading I had last week or this week. The card, the devil, was pulled. And I love that because when we talk about Gemini, we're talking about the lovers and we're talking about the twins. And so for the devil to be pulled is kind of, it spoke hard to me because it is like this moment where our shadow selves are kind of being exposed, but being exposed in a way to help us integrate them with balance, to communicate with that side of ourselves, to deepen our emotions, deepen our understanding about our relationship with our higher self, and just kind of find inspiration and insight and let go of the things that we've been chaining ourselves to, let go of the things that we keep ourselves held in a specific space where maybe we're ready to release that because we can see all the things that are coming up in our future, or the things that are going to come to fruition in 2022. I hate saying like new year, new me, but really with these last couple weeks in the turn of events and how the universe is pointing us, it really is a period of time to kind of think about what we are hoping to plant within the new year. And if we don't like to do New Year's resolutions around New Year's, this full moon is a really good time to reflect, to plot and to plan our next course of action on how we are going to integrate these ideas that we have been kind of coming up with, especially with Sagittarius season, putting a lot of fire, a lot of energy under our butts to kind of get moving on the things that we really aspire to have in our life, our desires, our dreams. With the moon and Gemini, that's impacting the way that we communicate and express in our relationships and how we communicate and express our emotions. There's themes of balance between our spiritual self and our physical self, like that inner outer world. And with Gemini being a mutable sign, it's very good at being a chameleon, very good at being adaptable, adapting to our new circumstances and situations, and being able to learn and communicate the things that they're thinking in these new environments that they're in. We can enjoy during this time like intellectual exchange. Geminis love to communicate, they love to think logically, they love to come up with new ideas, new ways of inspiration, new ways of inspiring people. They are social creatures, so they love to talk, they love socializing. So get out and be social and find new ways of inspiring those around you, and to find inspiration from those around you. That's going to be very helpful for us working with and moving through this full moon energy. The moon is trining Jupiter, and that is the planet of good luck and optimism, and that trine brings acceptance, and it brings support. So we could find a lot of support during this time, during this full moon, in our community and with people around us. And who we surround ourselves with really matters, especially now. So pay attention to who you have around you, who you want to be spending your time with, and who you choose to share your energy with, right? This is, again, a lot of socializing, a lot of sharing ideas, a lot of sharing information, because you never know. You're just like, you could be one question away to answering or to getting the information that's needed from you to move forward. So ask questions, be social, big push on being social, but ask questions, share ideas, ask people how they find information and inspiration, because you never know what message could be lying behind the questions that you're answering. This also offers a big opportunity to learn new things, to grow, to find the answers again that we seek, and for community. So during this time, it's a good time to be asking yourselves, where do we find community? How does community look to us? And what communities do we find ourselves in? Because finding community, again, is a big, really big, really important to this full moon, and big to help us find the support that we need to help us through, again, this full moon, but even just the winter season as we're coming up on the winter solstice that happens December 21st. We have then Venus conjuncting Pluto during this full moon, and a conjunction is a harmonization, a combination, a blending and uniting of energy. So we have Venus, the planet of love, beauty, romance, finances, conjuncting Pluto, which is the planet of transformation and change. So this is a time for seeking deeper connections, deeper emotional connections. So whether you're single, you're in a relationship, again, this community thing being brought back up, deepening our connections emotionally, expressing the things that's coming up that we're finding within ourselves, going back to the beginning of this video, talking about, the twins and the devil and our shadow sides versus our higher self, and communicating with other people, maybe what you're finding out about yourself, what you've learned this year, reflecting on this past year, and maybe how far you've come, and how that can help us find that sense of community and find the deeper connections that we're searching for. Because if we're unable to find them, or if we're finding them in the wrong places or for the wrong reasons, we could find some resistance there. Full moons always, they're heightened sense, or they're a heightened time. So, emotions could be a little bit all over the place, and sometimes there is the opportunity for arguments or misunderstandings, because our, everything, our communication, especially with this being in Gemini, is very illuminated at this time. Venus also is going retrograde right after the full moon, but it's very important to bring up now, because we'll be feeling the effects of that, and that is going to impact our relationship, again, our finances and romance. So it's important when we go through retrograde to remember and understand that the things that get brought up, the situations that we go through, are lessons for us to reflect on and to learn from. So be conscious of your spending habits, who you're spending your time with, and this can also bring about unique situations, interactions, exchanges with people. So just be aware of it. You don't have to really completely interact with these unique things that happen, but just be aware of what's coming up, because again, there are lessons for us to be learning. With it being Venus retrograde, that could be people from our past popping up to teach us a new lesson, right? Or that could be old situations coming back around again to make sure that we've learned and can grow forward. Or we can just find insight from those situations that come back around again to just reflect on who we are now, how far we've grown, and to communicate to ourselves what we want to do, or to have that understanding that we are different from where we are now and we have grown a lot. And maybe that is the little push and the answer that we seek to give us that nudge and confidence forward, to keep going after what inspires us, and to keep coming up with new ideas and new ways to just be a creative in any field that you find interest in. We are really going to be feeling ourselves, which I think I definitely touched on it, wanting to be, ourselves and others ready to be out and about, to socialize, to share our energy. It's the holiday season, so we're getting excited about, celebrating, going to Christmas parties or just different festivities during this time of the year that we like to indulge in. This full moon is kind of helping us push us out and just have more fun with those that are around us. It's a peak time for that. Just again, seeking insight and inspiration through exchanging our ideas with others. Yeah, we can do that. It's important though, throughout this time, as we're exchanging ideas and we are finding new ways of inspiration to hold space for what comes up intuitively and emotionally. So as you're interacting with people, if you receive a message or an understanding about something that you're going through, or you get that answer to the question that you've been asking, and it hits harder, or there's a deeper meaning behind it, you need to step back and process, because Geminis are really all about that. They like to analytically and logically think about things, to have a moment to themselves, to think through what's going on, and again, plot and plan out their way forward. So give yourself space, as this is a time of receiving messages and understandings about our future and where we're going to go in 2022. You know, what comes up could feel like it's going against the norm, or what society maybe wants us to do. Maybe you have more of a solo path in life, and so that could feel a little uneasy, but be caring, I guess that's what I'm looking for, with yourself through this process. And again, just give yourself the space needed to really digest that information that you're being given. Don't brush things off, as you should be using them as a catalyst for growth, for expansion, right? Because we're in this time of expansion and illuminating these ideas that are already growing inside of us, that have already been kind of placed in our path. As I feel like these last couple of weeks have been kind of unshaking all of these foundations inside of us that kind of need to move for us to grow into the people that we want to be, or just to emerge more authentically ourselves. I feel like we are communicating more authentically again through this full moon. And just, be gentle, give space. Kind of lost my train of thought with that one, but you know what I'm saying. The pieces to the puzzle are coming together, and right now we're getting that communication and that understanding of what to do with our puzzle in the first place. Now that we have all these pieces, right? Now that everything has kind of been shaken up and thrown all over the place, we know where to go. So, that is what we need to know about this full moon in Gemini, and now I'm going to get into the journal prompts. Our first journal prompt is there anything that we are ready to release during this full moon? Number 2, where do you draw the line between your spiritual self and your logical, socially accepted self? When do you feel most creative? And 5, where do you find community, and what does that look like to you? Love those. All right, now on to our mantras. Number 1, we have my mind and body are connecting and working in harmony, or my mind and body are connected and working in harmony. Sorry. Number 2, I embrace my inner knowing. And just to leave us with our affirmation for this full moon, we have 2. Well, wouldn't that be dandy, because it's the twins. Oh, I really love it. We have my greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force, they come through freedom. Yes, let me hear that one again. I love that with this orange creative energy. There's a rainbow blessings. Yes, it does. It comes through freedom. So free yourself from the things that you think that you have to do and communicate the new path forward. All right. And then we have directing my focus on what's thriving creates more of what I want. Yes. Okay. We love that. I love you guys. I hope you have a great full moon and a great holiday season. I am just so happy and grateful to be here with you. So I will see you next week for the weekly tarot reading. Catch you later.